This is unprecedented. I'm Adam Klein, winner of Survivor Millennials vs. Generation X. Get ready to shout through your confessionals all season long. It's Survivor Talk with D&D.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our recap and feedback show for the 6th episode of Survivor, Heroes vs. Healers vs. Hustlers. This is why you play Survivor. I'm Dwaine. I'm here with David, and we're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. And by the way, if you aren't listening live and chatting with newfound friends, you can do that every Thursday night at around 9 p.m. Eastern Time at MIXLR. That's mixlr.com/Survivor #talk. Wow. Just go to stwdd.com/live and follow the link there. That's a lot easier. Guess what, David?
What?
Next week we merge.
Hey, and that's our show. Thanks for listening tonight and for joining us in the chat room. And that's not our show? Okay. I'm ready to go to next week. So let's just go on.
I know it's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to it. Speaking of the merge, speaking of all things merge, this is the last week to get in on the D&D patron sweepstakes. I've already talked to David Wright. He's ready. Our Skype call is set up for a week from Monday for the three patrons whose names are drawn. He's got the buff ready for the one winner, and he's got all of his photos ready to personally sign and personalize them. I just want to remind all the patrons, that if you do not have your address into me, Dwaine at SurvivorTalkWithDND.com or feedback at SurvivorTalkWithDND.com, by next week's show, then you will not get a headshot because I've got to give him the names. Okay? Also, if you don't want to be included in the drawing, just let me know. But anyway, we're going to, Monday night, November 11th is when we're going to do the Skype. By the way, guess what? We're joining that call, David, just saying.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, is there any reason why we shouldn't? No?
We should host it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right. All patrons, I've already said that. So go to stwdd.com/sweepstakes for all the details. stwdd.com/sweepstakes. So there's no better talk than Survivor Talk. So let's get to it. David, I have some initial thoughts, and I know you do too. So why don't we start with you tonight?
Okay. My one initial thought is I'm going to increase the chat size for my computer because it's way small. My initial thoughts are kind of outside the episode this week.
Really?
I really thought it was a predictable episode, and I kind of got mundane at some points, but just a random question because of what last night was in the world of Major League Baseball. Is there an event that if it came on the same time as Survivor that you would have to watch it live and then go watch Survivor at 11 o'clock at night? Just a general question. Is there any event particular?
Premiere of Stranger Things 2.
Really? You would
probably
you would wait on Survivor for that?
Well, I know. You know what? Maybe not because everything is DVR'd now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is there anything you want to watch live? Like for me, if North Carolina was playing in the national championship, I would wait and watch Survivor 3 hours later.
Okay. It would have to be a sport. Like if the Dallas Cowboys were in a playoff game or they were in a Super Bowl, then yes, I would postpone Survivor. Yeah.
Last night was neither team from the World Series was my team. I'm a Cincinnati Red fan and a Yankee fan, so I was not pulling for the Dodgers. I was pulling for the Astros, but I still wasn't drawn to go watch the game over Survivor. That's how much I love it. And even this episode of what I call kind of calm Survivor, I would still rather watch a calm episode of Survivor than watch a big game. And it was Game 7 of an amazing World Series.
Oh, who won?
The Astros. The Astros won. That's right.
Good for them.
I love that you didn't know that. You're so committed to Survivor.
No, I just don't watch. If Chicago had been in the World Series, I would have watched it because of Will the Giant Ninja.
Of Will. Yeah, I could see that. I could see waiting on Survivor for that. And if it got a blowout in the first couple of innings, I'd go watch Survivor and come back.
If the Texas Rangers were in the World Series, we would all wonder what happened. But I would stay up and watch that in place.
See, I would watch my team if it was Game 7 of the World Series. But I know Will would definitely watch anytime the Cubs or Blackhawks are playing Survivor. But
so
I was just wondering in general if there's something.
Before we lose Mike in Cleveland, let's move on. Well, hey, at least we're not talking about soccer. He would definitely leave.
Well, I was about to say the other game, but you brought it up. I didn't bring it up. So,
all right,
Man United was in the finals of the Champions League. Yes, I'd watch that too. But otherwise,
so I have an initial thought: never place complete trust in someone on Survivor. We know that's true, and yet we probably would do it. In one fell swoop, Ryan destroyed Allie's game. In one fell swoop, Allie is one person who will hate the first day advantage.
I'm glad you brought that up because she did bring that up in her exit interviews. And you were right. You were right that little trickster is going to have an effect to the rest of the game.
Yeah.
That nobody's going to know about because both her and Rourke said, if I only knew about that super idol, I would have seen how he and Chrissy. So you're right. That thing is just carrying on every week through every tribal that they're in.
Yeah. So anyway, the fact that Ryan made the choice to go against Allie when Allie trusted him so much. And, I mean, Ryan had the choice. Her game was in Ryan's hands. He could have gone with Chrissy or he could have gone with her. And she completely trusted him, and he betrayed her. Twice.
Well, after last week, I didn't think he would trust her enough to work with her again.
No.
Going forward. I kind of – that's why this episode to me was kind of a done deal, especially when they lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, after last week, I was just hoping they wouldn't lose. I was hoping somebody else would lose.
Yeah. Well, anyway, if I'm Ryan, I go with Chrissy too. You know, because I know I have that bond.
Absolutely.
And then I hope that I can get rid of her later because she could win this thing.
As I said, what was it, 7 years ago when we started, do it to them before they do it to you. That's what Ryan's got to think about now with Chrissy.
Right. Now, later on, we'll talk about a big mistake Allie made when they got back to camp. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So, but if someone you are aligned with on a tribe is dying on the vine, get to another vine. And I'm talking about Cole and Jessica. Cole is dying on the vine, and Jessica needs to stop grabbing that vine. She needs to move on from that vine.
That was really interesting that him passing out like that just brought that out of her.
Yeah.
I can't see playing without him. Really?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was before that where he was making such a hoorah in the camp, and everybody was just like, golly, we can't stand this guy. And he goes off to the beach and Jess goes out with him. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so stop it.
It's funny. Like you said, everybody can't stand him, but at the same time, Ben and Lauren are going, yep, keep doing what you're doing. Yep, keep doing what you're doing.
That's right. So do you have another one? Another initial thought?
I do, and you can tell me if I'm wrong on this. Last week, I picked on the strength edition of these early challenges to make sure that they kept Probst's favorite people in the game. Mm-hmm. But I know they want to tell a story. I know, but you know how some TV series get mundane when basically they solve the crime in 48 minutes and they move on at the end of the season, at the end of the episode.
Yes.
You know, but these episodes, one right after, this is one reason I think the merge is going to save the season in that each episode is, okay, now we've got, and this is kind of how it was on the feedback thread. I got to watch live last night. Okay, now we know who y'all was voting for.
Yeah.
Okay, now we know who Lavu's voting for. Okay,
Right.
now we know who Soku's voting for.
Yeah.
Good grief. Is there anything else going on besides, and I know that's important. I know they have to set up the story. You know, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but come on, editing, change things up a little.
Yeah.
Maybe don't give us an obvious boot. Wait till the 5 minutes before tribal, and then we start seeing the hodgepodge of chaos.
But is that a
Go ahead.
double standard, though, for you? And I'm just being the devil's advocate here. Is it a double standard? Because whenever they do shows, whenever they do episodes where they don't do any strategy talk, you get frustrated because they didn't do any strategy talk.
Well, there is. I mean, I know that's the number one area of strategy is who's the next vote. Mm-hmm. But I also want to hear other things of strategy as to where do we go past the merge. You know, what's our plan at the merge?
No, that kind of talk would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And it does. I just felt like, so, you know me, I love the social side so much more than the challenge side, but this week it was reverse.
Yeah.
I got more out of the challenges than the redundant camp side.
Right.
It just told us, okay, now we know who's like almost like what was the point of watching these campsides when we didn't really get a whole lot?
Yeah. Well,
You know?
it is true that at least the last 2, possibly 3 episodes have been go to this camp, talk about who's going to be voted off. Go to this camp, talk about who's going to be voted off. That has pretty much been what it has been the last several.
And you know what I think is the main reason behind that is because we have 3 tribes to cover.
Right.
And I guess time is limited. So I'm really excited about next week going to one camp, one tribe, getting a whole kind of mess going on.
Yeah, that'll be good. All right, so I have one more initial thought, and that is, and you can argue with me if you'd like, or we could talk about it later.
Good.
But, I'm just going to make my comment, and we'll talk about it later. Keeping JP in the game is a smart move. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree wholeheartedly.
Oh, yeah! Woo!
Wholeheartedly.
Absolutely. The best move they could have made.
Absolutely. We'll discuss that later, but I wholeheartedly agree. We're going to have fun with that. Yeah. My last one is grade A challenge, baby. Oh my gosh. The second challenge.
Touchdown.
You know why it was so good? Was because it was an individual challenge made into a team challenge.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I love that challenge. And I've also got a tidbit about that challenge, a little secret information that I'll share when we get to it.
Ooh. All right. Yeah. Awesome. Now that we don't do video, we can do all kinds of crazy dances.
Our video is probably worth something now.
By the way, I'm so excited, David, before we get to the Soko tribe.
What are you so excited about?
You know I use 64 audio in-ear monitors, right? These aren't them because I don't want to use my really nice ones. These are my old ones. But I use them, and I made a video on my YouTube page that was 10 minutes of me unpacking them and talking about them. Anyway, make a long story short, 64 Audio took my video, condensed it to 1 minute and 38 seconds, and is on their website and on their YouTube page.
Nice.
I know.
Right?
Pretty
Is
awesome.
that nice? I don't know what all you said, but anyway.
Why do you not know what I just said?
Because you said the audio condensed your video?
No, the brand is 64 Audio.
Oh,
they make my in-ear monitors, and they liked my video, so they condensed it and put it on their website, and they featured me as a feature user.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's pretty cool.
All right. So Allie makes a huge mistake at the Soko tribe. And no, I don't think it's her raising her voice at him. I don't think it's her confronting him. None of that. I don't think really. I mean, I think Ryan comes out looking worse in this situation than Allie does. Mm-hmm. But Allie's mistake was doing this in front of someone else, especially Chrissy. They're right there at camp, and I can understand the initial what happened. But once it got into this conversation that became more than just a conversation,
right?
You nip it in the bud, or whatever the phrase is. You nip it in the butt. I don't know what the phrase is, but you stop it, and you say, why don't we talk later? Right? And then you go to the well and you talk without having an audience, because having the audience, there is no way having the audience does not affect the way Ryan interacts with her, especially since Chrissy is his alliance. Yeah. Right? You're not going to get anything out of Ryan when he's standing right there next to Chrissy. So that was a huge mistake on Allie's part. So that is my opinion. Not the right move. Automatically puts him on the defensive, and everything he says is going to be filtered through Chrissy's right there.
Yep, and I'll go back to what you started with and the way she did it, not just the physical way she did it in front of people, but what she said, because she even says in her exit interview, "I know that when you get blindsided and you come back to camp, you're supposed to be all nice and fake it, but you're supposed to be all nice and fake it."
She came out of the game.
Go in the woods and scream at a tree, but you got to come back and say, wow, why didn't you just tell me, man? That would have been great. We could have all voted her out.
Yeah.
You got to fake it. You got to fake it.
But, Vader Girl has probably said in our chat room 100 times, Allie dug her own grave. I disagree. She was already in the grave. She did not have a chance. They were taking JP all the way. If they lost that immunity challenge, Allie was gone regardless. I don't think she had anything to do with her leaving.
I think that I felt that Allie was gone at the beginning because JP said she was gone. And when JP speaks, he only says a few words when he does. But when he speaks, it almost always comes true. He's going to win the challenge, and Allie's going to be gone.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I agree. And it's sad to say, but it's not sad because there's that secret emotional attachment that Chrissy has with Ryan.
Yeah.
But it's sad to say that I don't think Allie had a chance through the whole episode.
Exactly.
In fact, I'm sorry to cut you off, but Ryan says, I didn't want to lose. JP's like, it's tough, but it is what it is. And Ryan's like, well, I didn't want to lose. I'm like, well, you never want to lose. But in the hindsight, it probably wasn't the worst loss.
Right.
Allie's one of the most social people in the game. She's smart. She's very likable, very easy to talk to. She felt like she had Lauren pretty tight. She could probably go back to them and break that group maybe away from Ryan. Mm-hmm. Devin, I think, is definitely going back to Ryan, but getting rid of Allie at this point, I think was incredibly fortunate for Ryan.
Right. So, Vader Girl, I'm going to say one more thing because you are insisting that she killed her own game, that she shouldn't have yelled and that she shouldn't have been public about it. All of these things are true except she did not ruin her own game. Chrissy and Ryan were not going to take her regardless. They had decided the previous episode before the previous tribal council that they were going to go with JP and them. Mm-hmm. And you cannot talk me out of that unless Allie came up and said something later that I don't know about.
I wonder if this is also because I've talked to a few people randomly about this season, what they think of it. And a survivor actually said, the season hasn't grabbed me yet. It hasn't
really
kind of latched onto them as a fan.
Huh.
I said, oh, okay, I can hear that. And I'm wondering if it's because they kept people like JP and voted out people like Allie. Yeah. Because Ryan says later in the game, I really want to play with people that want to play. And that's what cemented for me that Allie was gone because they said, well, we got to vote out Allie and keep JP because JP, we can control him like a kite.
Exactly.
And Ryan came back and said, I really wanted to play with people that wanted to play, but you can't keep all the people that want to play because they're the ones that are going to take you out.
That's right.
So I'm with you. I think she was done with.
Yeah.
What may have been her biggest fault was she sat with Rourke too much.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah. See,
but,
she probably ruined her game the episode before is when she ruined her game.
True, but then again, I'm going to agree with you and go back to the first day when Chrissy got the thing from Ryan. The first episode. That's probably what ruined Allie's game.
Right. So, well,
okay, that was the first segment.
Golly, yeah, we beat that horse till it's going. Stop it. So, the only thing Ryan says her going into him was not a good look for her, but I felt his responses and the way he spoke with her also was not a good look for him. So,
yeah, it's almost like I hate to say it wasn't needed, but I don't think Ryan was going to let her get the only words in because, I think she was gone anyway if they lost. But Ryan was going to kind of fight back, I guess, or argue back because he doesn't like being pushed down either. But she said, I only knew her for 4 days. I'm thinking, hey, final tribal alliances have been made in less than 4 days.
Like so, 1 day.
Yeah.
Like 30 seconds when you tell them, I played my advantage for you. Boom.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway. All right, so let's go to Yawa probably the next morning, I guess. Mike catches a minnow. And my favorite line of the episode, probably, Jessica, do you feel like a man?
He's such a little kid to her.
I mean, it's like, wow, now you're a man. It's like, I'm a surgeon. I am a very good man. Just as good as any surgeon. Do you feel like a man? Because he caught a minnow.
I wonder what he thinks of this, of what he thinks of what's being shown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's showing him as kind of the little geeky guy who can't do anything to the point that Jessica says, does that make you feel like a man when he catches a minnow? Yeah.
He's like the geeky guy that he can hang with the cool kids, but they don't know his name. And I think he might have said that earlier, or somebody said that earlier. But he's allowed to hang with them, but they don't really know his name until he proves himself. And it's like a pat on the head. Way to go, Mike.
Yeah.
You feel like a man now?
Yeah. It's a little patronizing. without intending to be.
Right.
You know?
I wrote down Mike the fisherman. Mike catches fish. Mike preps fish. Mike cooks, drops and burns fish.
Yeah.
Mike shares burnt fish.
That's right. That's right. And that is good. The contrast that with Cole is not lost on the rest of the tribe.
Right.
You know, if you catch a little bitty fish and you don't even get to eat it all because you burned half of it, and yet you still share it, and the other guy's catching bigger fish and eating all of it and then complaining that he doesn't get enough food, yeah. This is what's saving Mike in the game. I mean, I don't know if he needs to be saved, but this is what is elevating him in the game with the other people. Mm-hmm. At least it's part of it. That is probably fun to be around too.
Yeah, it's kind of a fine line because I wrote down that Ben sees Mike as out of his element, and he's doing good being out of his element.
Yeah.
And I see Ben smiling for Mike. And then 24 hours, I see Ben frowning at Mike because that's the kind of guy that could win at the end, is a guy that's out of his element, but he's doing good. He's striving out of his element.
Right. I like that Ben was like, I'm so glad I'm on your tribe.
you make these days go by.
Yeah, you're like the comic relief in the midst of all the stress. So, back to this. Cole wants to cook rice, but no one wants to cook rice. Now, even though he's right, in some aspect, he is right. We need to have food. What's wrong with me cooking food? What's wrong with us cooking food? His history with the tribe colors everything that he says. And since he's a food hoard, they don't – when he says we need to cook, they're automatically tuning him out. In fact, if anything, it probably makes them not want to make food all the more.
Yeah.
You know?
Knowing how much he's pulled out and eaten, right.
Yeah. It's like, what? So you can lick the pan? So you can lick all our rice before we eat it?
And we also got to see what hunger does to Cole. Because when Lauren tries to speak in the conversation, he cuts her off and asks her not to cut him off while he's speaking.
Yeah. Never do that.
Oh, okay, dude. Go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to shut you down when you're finished.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, he's rude to Lauren. So why I ask again, why is Jessica going to the beach with him? Doesn't she realize she is walking with a time bomb?
Yeah, it's funny. I wrote, because I took notes the first time I watched and the second time, but I wrote, don't come into Survivor ripped. Come into Survivor prepared. And Ben makes that point exactly later on.
Yeah. So, David, on the reward challenge, where does this score on your challenge meter, this reward challenge?
The reward challenge. Well, you know how I am about games ending in one person excelling. It was obviously going to take somebody strong enough to pull the slingshot back, and I didn't have a problem with that. I'm glad that the swap ended the way it did. I mean, you got strong guys on every tribe. If there weren't, we'd have one tribe getting torn apart in these rewards.
Right.
It was good.
It's not one of your favorites. What, you give it like a 5 or a 6 maybe?
I'd give it a 6.
Okay, yeah, because you got to leave room up there for a lot of the challenges we've seen.
Because on the live feed, I called Lavu right off the bat because he's got so many athletes and strong players on the blue tribe. So I picked them, and of course they're the ones that couldn't even get the ball, to the other end, get the buoy to the other end.
Yeah, really.
With the bounce. So I cursed them.
Yeah. 10 pizzas, dude. Okay, that raises the challenge up to like a 7. The fact that
That's
get
true.
to and you know what? Those pizzas are better than any. That's like homemade pizza. Those are like the pizzas you make.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
Now you get me hungry.
When I saw those pizzas, I thought if I was at David's house right now, we would go make some pizzas, and they would look like that.
And we would cook 10 for 4 of us.
Yes.
10 pizzas for 4 people.
Oh, man. It's that homemade crust. It's that real cheese and pizza sauce and pepperoni.
Pizza.
Anyway.
That was my favorite challenge in the second chance when they did the pizza challenge. I didn't care I don't even remember what the challenge was. I just remember there was pizza, boxes of pizza at the end.
Yeah, I would be fighting hard for those pizzas, though.
Yeah.
The challenge, though, did remind me of the Amazing Race episode. Do you know which one I'm talking about? When there was a big slingshot, and they had these like twice the size of a softball watermelons, and they had to put him in the slingshot, pull it all the way back, and let it go, and they had to hit something. And one girl did it, and the watermelon went and hit her in the face. It never left the slingshot until it came back, and the watermelon completely busted on her face.
Yes, it's been a big grassy field.
Yeah,
I only remember the clip. I don't remember the whole challenge.
Oh man, it was hilarious.
Gosh,
and and she wasn't hurt, so no faces were hurt during the filming of this show. So anyway,
you know what, Vader Girl? Even 7-Eleven pizza would be amazing on day 15 of Survivor.
Yeah. Well, if 7-Eleven pizza looks like that, then I'm all for 7-Eleven pizza.
But my only thing is, it said pizza waiting for you back at camp when yours finished.
Yeah, they probably.
And I'm like, there's no pizza in the boxes? Come on.
Yeah, really.
The pizza's not going to make it back to camp.
That's right. It took discipline for JP to wait on those waves.
Yeah.
Very much so disciplined.
Yes.
And it could have backfired on him. If Ben had gotten his before, of course, you know how they edit these things. He probably had no risk of losing. But if he had lost because of that, they would have said something about it. But that was great because you know how to do your shot, so you wait till you have that shot and you take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and who gets the post-challenge confessional?
It was interesting because JP said he doesn't like to be in the limelight, but in this case, it was good for his game because they need him to win the challenges. And you know, my first thought was either he is so clueless,
I think, that's
or
true.
I know.
I don't know what your second thought is, but I like the first one.
or this was an out of sequence comment because he's been in the limelight before. I mean, he's shined in other challenges. Yeah. But I mean, or he's very confident that they are going to vote out Allie and he's going on to the merge.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but still, it was good for this game because they need him to win challenges. That's if there's going to be more tribe challenges. There's likely not going to be too many more. Go ahead.
Or if they said to him, "We're going to the merge with you. You keep winning the challenges, and we'll all stick together. And if you don't win a challenge, we've got your back."
Yeah.
If that's the deal. See that's the thing. Like Steve Helling has said to us before, and we've had this conversation. You don't always get rid of all the big guys before the merge if they're with you. You know? Right. So, anyway. And
if you've got excess people, you can afford to lose the big guys because you just vote them off as you lose.
Yeah, exactly.
But in hindsight, you never really want to lose. You don't want to risk that chance of being the one that they flip on.
No.
But if you're loaded with players and you can get rid of somebody from another original tribe, yeah.
Well, all they got to do is promise them, look, we are tight. You take us to the end, and it's all three of us at the end.
Yeah.
You know, no matter who joins us, we are the three. Obviously, you tell that to everybody, and don't get caught doing it.
Oh, that's a good point. I guarantee you JP has had that chat with Ryan and Chrissy. Final three.
Dude, Chrissy could talk, I don't know, what she could talk a milkman into, I don't know, what's a phrase I'm looking for? She could talk anybody into doing anything.
She could talk a butcher into going vegetarian.
There you go. But
I don't think she could talk me into it.
All right, so we go to the Soko tribe. They're enjoying the pizza. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about the challenge.
This was me, Ryan, overdoing the JP thing, which is like, I'm not buying it that he's in trouble because he said that the merge is coming and it raises JP's threat level of in doing challenges. I'm like, no, it lowers your threat level to have JP around because JP is going to be a target.
That's why the whole show was kind of predictable. Because why would you get rid of JP? You know?
Right.
Why would you get rid of JP? Well, once they lost immunity, it was predictable. But this area was also predictable because it's like, no, Ryan, that's not the case in this situation. Just like you were saying.
I did like Ryan's one line at the end. He says, JP has no clue what's going on in this game.
Yes.
It's amazing that he's still here.
Yeah. He's kind of accidentally there.
Yeah.
JP's, I don't know. I couldn't understand a single thing, hardly anything JP said.
It was like he was reading it. He doesn't breathe. He doesn't blink. He just like spills it right out.
Yeah, he mumbles in, and this is what I put things in the back of my truck.
And if I get voted out, well, I guess it's a wake up call.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll be waking up in Ponderosa.
That's right. All right, you ready for Lavu? Joe and Desi looking for the idol, supposedly on that day.
Yeah, that was something that somebody missed in the live chat. In that they said Joe is just now looking for the idol when he was looking with Devin, but they were talking about how he had already been digging.
Yeah,
so he's been digging since they got there.
Yeah. So Joe and Desi are looking for the idol. Devin and Ashley are talking about voting possibilities, and then you get the Ashley the Ashley SI swimsuit pose on the beach.
Yes, her confessional.
Yeah, only fully covered with clothing, which is good. But, they had her posed. Golly. Who was it that they used to pose on a previous season? It was a guy.
It was, what's his face? The guy that was on the Brain Tribe.
Yeah, I don't remember.
The muscle ripped guy, yeah.
Yeah. So, she was so posed. They were like, okay, we need you to sit like that. She goes, but that is so uncomfortable. Too bad. Do it.
It was Garrett. Garrett was on the
yes.
Cass's Brain Tribe.
Yes. And Gwen. A little too late there, Gwen. David already said it. A little behind.
But she thought it before I said it. And
she didn't. No. So Devin and Joe are out looking for sticks, a.k.a. idols.
This was almost one of my initial reactions that Devin is a terrible shadower.
Yes, I know. You go shadow Joe from 50 yards away facing the other direction.
So I'm picturing Joe tossing rocks in front of Devin. So Devin keeps walking as Joe's walking backwards behind trees. He's just tossing rocks because Devin's got his head down with a bag full of crabs. He's just walking. And when Joe finds the clue, Devin's like 100 yards going the other way. Yeah. Like, Devin. So he gets back to camp and Ashley goes, "Did you follow Joe?" "Yeah, I followed him." "Where's Joe?" "Oh, I don't know." "He's not with me anymore." Poor Devin.
Oh boy! All right, so let's see. Ashley's working on.
Yeah,
Desi.
I love we get a little Ashley and Desi talk about
Good.
Joe and how dangerous he is.
Good.
Will she flip? What'd you get?
Well, I got Desi's given the answers Ashley wants, and her answers are true, but they're not particularly true for right then, right? Would you vote Joe out? Well, yeah, eventually. She didn't say eventually.
Right. I wrote down the same thing. Desi gives the right response to Ashley.
Yeah. Yeah,
she didn't
absolutely.
hesitate. She didn't hesitate. She's like, yeah.
And, she probably knows Joe has an idol. Or, because he may already have one and they just edited it differently. I don't know. Why would you go against Joe when Joe's been with you the whole time and you know that you take him to the merge and you're going to be with him? Until...
I don't think – yeah, I'm with you. I think she just said what she thought Ashley needed to hear.
Exactly.
I'm not sure she was sold on flipping on Joe.
Yeah. Gwen says, this is fake news because the chat room hears us 8 seconds after we talk. Blame Mixler, not us. It must be Fox's fault. Okay.
That's right.
Anyway. Let's see. Joe finds the clue after the cameraman tripped and knocked the tripod on the tree. I mean, when you look in your peripheral vision and the cameraman keeps looking at the tree, something's happening.
Yeah, the camera's looking right at it. And Joe's just looking around. And he bumps into the camera, and the camera's still looking at the tree.
Yeah, the producer's like, stop it. I'm trying to, go ahead, do whatever you're going to do. All right. Yawa, day 16.
But I like when Joe found the idol. He secured the idol and gives a short little testimony about how he raised his kids to work hard. And
that's later.
No, that night.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm so sorry. Later that night.
They showed Devin, Joe's shadow, asleep.
Yes.
And Joe's gone through the well to find the idol.
Sorry about that. I passed that over in my notes. But yeah, and I want to know, how do they see? There is no light unless the moon just happens to be reflecting the sun very brightly. But there is no light.
Well, it wasn't green. Is it green infrared?
Yeah.
But it was blue, I think. I want to say it was tinted blue like there was moonlight.
But all their night scenes are that color.
But trust me, I would be digging in the dark too. If there's an idol there, and then I love how he said, I'm also going to find the one at the merge.
Yeah.
Go Joe.
Well, Gwen is saying in the chat room that, it's not the green. She's not saying all of this, but it's not the green that we would normally see on night vision. It's it's camera lighting. It's just the lights they have on the camera, apparently. That's what she's saying. Who knows? What does Gwen know? All right. She won't hear that for 8 seconds, so we're safe for a little bit. All right, Yahweh, day 16. So we get a little preview.
We got 8 seconds of safety.
Yeah. Cole's hand is shaking, right? Cole faints. Did he faint or did he fall on purpose? Bum, bum, bum.
As hard as he slammed.
Yeah, he fell.
I would say he fell for real. But his facial expressions after did make you think for a split second.
I was kind of like, what happened? I mean, I was standing and now I'm here. Rice.
Now, have you ever done that?
Rice, baby. He's singing in Jessica's ear. I don't know that I've ever fainted, no.
I fainted like that before, where I was sick and I didn't know it, and I just lifted some sandbags at the pool store. I used to be a pool guy, and I went into a room to look at some paperwork, and I was leaning over the paperwork, and it was a small room. It was like where we tested pool water, and next thing I know, I'm looking down, and next thing I know, my head bangs against the wall because I fell forward. I just passed out, and then I kind of woke up when I stood back up because of the pain in my head. But I was like, wow, I just disappeared for a second. Yeah. And it was only for a second. So the fact that he came to so quickly didn't lead me to think it was a fake, even though it could have been. I just like, that's what happens when you pass out real quick like that.
Yeah. Did you hear Mike stutter? Mike's, it was like, at least it sounded like a stutter to me. It's like, whoa, this caught him so off guard. He's like, anyway. Now, I've fallen asleep like standing up.
No, but he passed out.
No, I know he passed out. Yeah. But you were talking about, have I ever fainted? I was like, no, I've fallen asleep. I fell asleep driving once and drove for 2.5 hours sleeping. Woke up in another city. That was one of the freakiest moments of my life.
Yeah, now I've done that when dating Terry, that I would drive home the 20, 25 minutes and leave her house, get on the exit. All of a sudden, I'm on my street.
Yeah, that is so dangerous.
I'm like, wow, how did I get here?
Yeah. So, anyway, although it was so funny to watch Lauren because she's so annoyed by Cole all the time, and here he is in an actual needy situation, and she's so conflicted. She's just looking at him like, "Oh, I can't believe you fainted."
I knew you'd get your rice. You just wanted that rice.
Yeah, whatever it takes to get some rice.
And that was that look on his face like, I got my rice.
I know it was. I mean, it was like, I'm so happy I got rice. Whoa, I should faint more often.
They propped my feet up. They gave me a pillow.
Jessica gave me a massage, went out to the beach with me. We went swimming. Even though
this is how you treat your challenge beast right here.
I love how Mike goes, oh, nothing exciting happened while you were gone, Ben. Cole didn't fall down and bump his head.
Yeah, he didn't pass out.
We didn't feed him half the rice.
That's what you were saying about Lauren. I wrote, Cole says he feels like a burden. Laura's glare might agree.
Lauren's, really. Lauren's like, really? You think so? Yeah.
So it's like, faint again, we're calling medical and you're out of here.
Yeah.
So we can all eat.
Yeah.
And Mike had a good point, though. Cole has become a liability. If we have to feed him every time he gets tired from working so hard in challenges, if he feels this way on day 16, how is he going to feel on 17 or 18 or 23?
Right.
How long do we pull him along? That's not something you hear about a challenge beast from somebody that's not a challenge beast. How long are we going to pull along the challenge beast?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, David, are you ready for the immunity challenge?
Yes.
I have a feeling I know where this falls on the David's challenge meter.
Where?
9 or 10.
It's really going to have to be incredible to be a 10.
So an 8 or 9, 8.5 to 9, probably 8.
This to me was a solid 9. I wish the tribes had been even so that everybody was in it, but still, it was beautiful. I loved it. I thought it was great. It's that challenge where you got to hold the rope, get to the end stack, and go backwards. Yeah. But everybody had to do it together.
Yes, and
amazing.
And you didn't it wasn't okay. You have to have 2 blocks. You have to have 2 blocks. It's whichever blocks you picked up. So at that point, I'm kicking blocks away from Ryan.
But, well, after the stack fell, and this is my behind-the-scenes information, every person had to take 2 blocks to go back to their barrel.
Oh, is that true?
Didn't matter which letters. Didn't have to be the original letters.
Oh.
So maybe the person with the weakest hands or the weakest walk takes the lowest letters. And the person with the steady hand and steady walk takes the I and the M.
Oh, okay. Well,
so when they went back to their barrels, they could take any 2 blocks. Doesn't matter which blocks, only after it fell.
Okay. Sorry.
But I see what your point is. Just give them all to Jessica. Give them all the blocks to Jessica.
That's right.
Because the other 3 were holding it perfectly still.
Exactly. They had the right thing going. Anyway, so I really like the challenge. Yawa wins. JP drops it. Then Lavu is given immunity.
Vader Girl says, leave Ryan alone. You'll be kissing his butt for your intro once he wins. You're probably right.
Well, I am happy to say Ryan did reach out to us before the season started, and he listens to our show. How cool is that? I don't think we've ever had anybody reach out to us before the season aired and said, hey, I listened to your show. I was like, really? Why didn't you tell Wiggler? No, I'm just kidding. Why'd you keep dropping the other podcast name? No, I'm just kidding. So, yes, Ryan, people are saying hi to you now in the chat room. So, of course, now he's got
I wish I'd picked her as my double point person, but I picked her to win. But I thought her comeback to Rourke last week was better than Ryan's comeback to Allie this week.
Okay.
I thought she looked stronger, a little more confident in what she was saying, to the point where she actually cut off Rourke by saying, I don't have any other comment because what she's saying is not a good argument. It's not worth my time. Whereas Ryan almost seemed to lose it a little bit with Allie. He was so defensive that he got loud. And I really think that it's going to come. Chrissy's going to be the one that flips on Ryan, because Ryan keeps talking about trusting people, having people's backs. And one of the things he says, and I don't mean to jump too far before tribal, but he says the closer you are to somebody, they can't really see you go behind their back and backstab them.
Yeah.
And I just see Ryan looking at all these people he's drawing in and knowing he's going to have to backstab them sooner or later. But while he's doing that, Chrissy is walking behind Ryan and is going to backstab Ryan. You can't take Ryan to the end.
Oh, absolutely.
No, exactly. And I think he knows that he can't take Chrissy to the end. He's hoping that somebody else might take her out. But I think Chrissy has no problem whatsoever taking out Ryan.
Oh, she has probably taken out anybody. And once the merge happens, all this, Ryan won't be Chrissy's only right-hand man, and Chrissy won't be Ryan's only right-hand man. They could very soon be like, okay, I've got to get Ryan off. Okay, I've got to get Chrissy off. Both of them saying it.
I think this season's going to hit its peak of intensity when Ryan and Chrissy realize they can't go with each other to the end, and something's going to happen. And I just keep thinking, with Ryan talking about backstabbing people and covering backs, I just think he's going to be the one that gets it.
Yeah.
But from Chrissy right before the end.
Yeah. All right, let's get to tribal council. David, I just want to say you're just a few pieces away from being a good podcaster.
I wrote that down too.
Just a few pieces away from being a good podcaster, David. Just a few pieces.
Yeah, if I had the social game, if I had the wits of the game, if I knew what this game was about, I would probably be a really great player.
Yeah. If I didn't have all this fat, I wouldn't be fat.
You know what the best part is? JP took it as a compliment.
I know. And Probst tried to hold back laughs, I'm sure. Way to go, Ryan. But anyway.
Now all this talk about JP, he seems like one of the nicest, most honest guys in the world. He's such a likable guy, which is true to Allie's point about he's going to beat y'all. If he gets to the end from winning every challenge and being Mr. Nice Guy, he could probably get votes. I just don't think they're going to let him get that far, because I don't think he's going to win out. But I'm with Ryan about JP Afonso. He's a few pieces short of a great player.
JP's like the guy that doesn't know how to play Monopoly, but you get him to play, and then he just gets really lucky and keeps getting everything.
Yeah,
but he has
the dice keep rolling his way.
Yeah, but he has no idea what he's doing or why. And then every once in a while, people go, "Look, you could buy some hotels." Really? It's that kind of thing.
I love what Probst said. Allie, JP just answered that question without answering the question. What do you think that means? And Allie says, I have no idea what JP is thinking.
That's right. Oh, okay. I wrote JP is confident. When he does finally get voted out, he so will not see it coming. He'll probably sit there and he'll go, wait, was that my name? and he'll still be calm. Right. And he'll still be calm. So
he will not be upset. I like what Chrissy said towards the end of it. She said, every person here benefits my game and every person hurts my game.
Yeah.
She's so smart.
Yeah. All right. Good job, everybody.
Gwen thinks that JP is just Probst's perfect specimen to play because he's got the same initials.
Oh, there you go. That must be it. Yep. All right, David, are you ready for the next segment of the show?
Let me get to a note so you can tell.
For feedback? Are you ready for feedback? Okay.
Everybody sit back. It's time for feedback. Our listeners have to say what's on their minds today. D&D will hear you. D&D will read you. D&D will take the time to take your lines, analyze, and feel you. It's feedback. Survivor Talk with D&D. Take and listen to feedback, y'all. That's right.
I would just like to say that I said this statement 8 seconds ago. First, we have Kieran.
What's up, guys? It's Kieran from Maryland. All right, time for my feedback. Both Allie and Ryan did not handle Rourke's blindside that well. Allie was very emotional and confrontational with Ryan, while Ryan seemed pretty angry at Allie, so both of them didn't handle it that well. At Levu, it appeared that Desi was considering flipping on Joe. At Soko, Cole continued to dig his own grave. He's being selfish and just not very intelligent. I was definitely scared about him possibly getting medevac because he fainted, but luckily he didn't. Don't understand why Jessica is still with him. He's on a sinking ship. She should jump off the ship and swim away. She shouldn't stay on the sinking ship. Oh my god. She's going down with him. That's not a good sign. When Soko lost immunity, I expected JP to go. Going into this episode, I didn't even think Allie was going to leave. I thought her edit was too strong for a pre-merge route, but I was wrong. She was blindsided at Tribal Council. I did not expect her to go. I was for sure JP was leaving. I was so upset to see her go. She was such an amazing character and player. I would love to see her play again. I'll give credit to Chrissy and Ryan for getting rid of her. Chrissy can't trust her because Allie voted against her, and Ryan already broke the trust, so there's no way for him to believe that Allie will trust him. So I give them both credit for getting rid of Allie. Based on the preview, the merge is occurring, and appears that Cole and somebody else is a target. Somewhere in the preview, they showed somebody, maybe Mike, telling Lauren that she's the biggest threat. I don't know who he's referring to. So it looks like Cole and one of the ladies is in trouble. So overall, this was a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't enjoy was Allie getting blindsided. But other than that, this was a really good episode. The season's really picking up. I'm looking forward to the merge episode. I got some questions for you. My first question is, who do you think is in trouble going into the merge? My second question is, what do you think about this editing? Lately, Survivor has been editing the season in a way where many castaways have a chance of winning. Like in Millennials vs. Gen X, they had so many contenders of winning, and they even made Adam look like he had no shot of winning. I feel like they're doing that in this season as well. They're giving a lot of people great edits, and they gave Allie such an amazing edit that a lot of people didn't expect her to go pre-merge. So what do you think about this editing? Do you think they should continue to do this? I actually like this kind of editing because it makes it more exciting and it results in more shocking outcomes. Well, have a nice day.
That was Kieran. Who is in trouble going into the merge? Everybody?
Yeah, I'd say about 9 people.
No one's really safe.
Well, it's who the mob decides.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben's got a great social game. He's a physical threat. I mean, do you really pick off Cole JP first? I mean, Devin. I think Devin's still an underrated person out there. I still think he's smarter than he lets on. You know,
yeah.
I think Devin could be. Well, that's what's so good about the merge. It's whatever the way the tide flows.
Yeah, and it's whoever gets to talk to whomever first and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
And as far as the editing, I think they have to make it look like more than one person's going to win.
Oh, yeah.
They couldn't do much with Caramel, and Cochran was going to win from day one, but otherwise they try to make it so they might can win.
Yeah. All right, next we have Wendy from South Dakota.
Hey, Dwaine, David, and all my Survivor buddies. It's Wendy from South Dakota, calling from the grain cart today, so there's going to be a lot of background noise. I know how much Dwaine loves that. Just got done watching the episode, and love to see the growth that Dr. Mike is having. That's fantastic. It's nice to see him out trying new things and succeeding and not giving up. He's a super fun guy. I don't have a lot to say about the episode. Allie getting voted out, she doesn't have anybody to blame but herself. The way she handled herself when they came back from Tribal was definitely not the way you handle yourself she just told Ryan, without a doubt, I'm not going to be able to trust you again. She didn't say those exact words, but by everything she did, he knew that she was never going to trust him again. I get it. Your feelings were hurt, but you still have to act like your feelings weren't hurt. In the very wise words of Cherie, you got to fix your face. You got to fix your attitude too. You just can't say what you really feel. You have to, so much of Survivor is being a good actor. I really liked Allie. I was thinking she was going to be the one going all the way. I just think she handled this one situation badly, and it cost her her game, which is unfortunate. And, it could be that they saw her as the threat that she truly is. But I'm sad to see her go. I still enjoying the season. I hope to enjoy watching the season from my couch instead of the grain cart next week. But we'll see. Harvest is going strong here in South Dakota. And it's nice to hear from all you guys on the show. Keep calling in. Keep giving your opinions. And y'all take care.
I love that she calls in from a big, giant tractor thing.
Yes. I'm surprised she didn't give a shout out to John Deere.
Yeah.
She was hitting on several good points. In fact, all of her points I think I agreed with. One about you got to fake it. You got to be able to act.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I think Ryan knew that he was never going to get her complete trust again. And she made me think about something else we've talked about before, in that what every person out there wants, as much as an idol or immunity, is to have that one relationship, that one person they know they can trust, and not have to worry about, being betrayed or just having that one. It's like having a family member out there that you can talk to and then they leave.
Right.
Just that one. And I think Ryan has found that. I think he's found it in Devin, but I also think he's found it in Chrissy. And like we said, Allie just didn't have a chance.
But he doesn't have that in Chrissy, because we just now talked about how Chrissy's going to backstab him. Your true one doesn't backstab you.
Right. No, I think he
very,
feels
very
he has
end.
that in Chrissy. That's why he went against Rourke and went against
And
Allie.
Allie felt like she had it with him.
Right.
Right. So even having your true one is very dangerous.
And even Allie said that because I was like, you were with Ryan on Hustler Tribe, but Ryan was with Devin.
Yeah.
Ryan was not, he didn't seem to be with her, but she said that they were very close every day, did everything together. So that's just a relationship we didn't see.
All right. Well, next we have Gwen Stevens. I'm not sure who this is. Do you know who this is, David? Probably just some.
I think it's Gwen Probst.
Probably some odd listener. Not really sure. All right, David, go ahead and read her poem.
My favorite bronies, D&D. Gwen's feedback is here, as you see. I might make a pun. This will be such fun. Don't mess up my jokes. Humor me.
Who is she? Dr. Seuss? What's going on here?
You're messing up her fun stuff.
Oh, sorry.
Now listen up, Dwaine and David. Okay, now listen up, David and Dwaine. This episode was so insane. Ryan was a snake. What steps will he take? Which survivor shall be next slain? Could she not find something to rhyme with weasel? Because he said he was a weasel. Okay. Sorry. I was wrong this week once again. See, the new Tony is Lauren. She's cunning and smart. She's high on my chart. I guess that her Trish must be Ben. Turns out Cole is not a sinner. He just needed to eat dinner. Joe found the idol and got the title. Did Desi predict the winner? Allie, my dear, you shall be missed. I understand why you were pissed. Patrick should have stayed. Your bed you had made. Returnees, you might make the list. That is all my feedback this week. Your live stream tonight I shall seek. Such fun times, no doubt. Santa Barbara out. Merge next week. It shall not be bleak.
Smiley face.
Smiley face.
Okay, we've got to give props to Gwen.
That's amazing.
Props to Gwen, because Not only did she, I mean, this took a long time because I know I've written some parodies. Golly, it's been a while. What was it, Kagayan that I wrote parodies?
Yeah.
It takes a while. And she wants to point out in the chat room that the syllables must be exact. So she wants some recognition here. So good job, Gwen.
They match, so I read it right, I think.
Yeah, I think you did. Good job, David.
Even with my throat the way it feels right now.
David, that was so good. The way you did that, it was just great. It made her feedback really good because you read it so well.
Even though you interrupted, and I did the names backwards, but otherwise.
Yes. All right, John Buckley. Hello, David and Dwayne. People are finally getting that, David. It's David and Dwayne. It's taken 9 years, not 9, 4 or 5 years, but they finally got it. It's John from Ohio again. I was pleased with last night's episode, and I wouldn't hesitate to call it the best episode yet. I thought Joe had a great episode last night. He found the idol and was shown in a very positive light when he was talking about family and his motivations. Joe remains my favorite player, but I fear for his longevity. I want to talk about Cole for a moment. So he's annoying, has no self-awareness whatsoever, but that moment when he passed out was as frightening as it was compelling. If you look closely, when he's on the ground, before he faints, his hand has a tremor. It seemed like he was being selfish at first, but I think it's clear that he was legitimately deteriorating. When you have a lot of muscle, like Cole does, it doesn't take long for the muscles to begin deteriorating when famished. See, I have that same issue. So to be fair, I think Cole probably felt a lot worse than everyone else. I don't really like Cole at all, but I do feel bad for him. I think Ryan became the villain of the season by voting out Allie. I understand the move and his motivations, but Allie was a fan favorite, and a lot of people were upset to see her go, as was I. Last thing, I think this immunity challenge was one of the best immunity challenges ever. I love the adaptation from a past merge individual immunity challenge to a tribal immunity challenge. I thought it worked really well. Thanks for reading my feedback so well, Dwayne. You're amazing. Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Except for that part you messed up when it's post-merge,
yes.
Not past merge.
Oh, whoops. See, pride comes before the fall. I just fell. Thanks for reading my feedback. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best out there. Wow. Thank you. There's a lot of people out there. Have a good week, John.
He just brought up a good answer to Kieran's question. Joe is the package as far as a strategic threat, physical threat, idle threat. He could be something because if Devin goes back to Ryan, he's going to say, hey, Joe's got to go. Joe's going to be somebody that's going to be a threat. So that's a good answer to Kieran's question. Who's in trouble? And it could be Joe.
Yeah. Good job, John. All right. We're going to put Miriam next, and then we're going to do the Giant Ninjas. And I got to tell you something. If you're like thinking about tuning us out for a minute, you do not want to miss the Giant Ninjas feedback. Just giving you fair warning, a little tease. But first, we have Miriam, a.k.a. Vader Girl. Always good.
Hi, Dwayne and David. This is Miriam, otherwise known as Vader Girl, or Miriam, or whatever you want to call me, as long as you call me. Hello to patrons, fans, listeners, Survivor fans, everyone. Chat room. I just want to say I'm still loving Survivor. Oh, I forgot to say I'm calling from a very rainy, dark Everett, Washington. Boo. As a smoker, I really don't like the rain. But I probably don't like the rain anyways. It's just miserable. But probably not as miserable as people on Survivor. Anyways, back to Survivor. Great episode last night. I am so loving my winner pick, Ryan. I think Ryan is amazing. I think he's getting a great edit, though I've been really upset because I've seen a lot of hatred on Twitter and other places to Ryan and Chrissy, and I really don't like that. It's like, I mean, I guess people take their own winners picks personally when people are attacking them, but it just feels like there's a lot of unnecessary things being said about him and Chrissy, and I really would ask people just to not be cruel. Those are really living people. They're not fictitious characters. So, you know, like Eugene on Walking Dead, the actor had to get off Twitter because he was getting death threats. Well, let's not make this, this is just not cool. So that's anybody listening who tweets negative stuff, please just recognize these are people. But back to Ryan and last night's episode. I thought he got a great narrative. I thought he was controlling the narrative and all of his confessionals. It was about his game, his strategy, his plan. He was, telling the story. I thought Chrissy, when she had her confessionals, I found it interesting that she would talk about Ryan in a lot of her confessionals. So just really interesting stuff. I think Ryan's getting like a Richard Hatch type edit. It reminds me a lot of Richard Hatch or Todd Herzog, Tyson-ish, but I still think Ryan's winning. My predictions for winning is Ryan, of course, possibly Chrissy. And the only other person that could win with the edit, it seems like, is Ben, who I love too. Ben is amazing, but my cards are on Ryan. And what else was I going to say? I think Allie, sorry to see her go, but I think Ryan made the right choice in JP. He's a loyal soldier and very stoic. Allie has Kelly Wentworth upside. I also see at the merge coming, I see a big alliance of Ben, Rimmer, Ryan, Devon, JT, Chrissy, Ashley, basically all the healers and hustlers. And all the heroes and hustlers. And I think the healers are going to be picked one by one. Hopefully Mike will be smart and team up with the larger group. He also has an idol. I think Joe is I love Joe. Joe is amazing. He's really good looking too. Joe is a great character. I don't think he's going to win though. He doesn't really seem to have an alliance to anybody. He seems like he's just aligned to his idols and theatrics. I love him. He's great casting. I just don't see him winning. Like I said, the possible winners that I see right now with the edit is Ryan, Chrissy, or Ben. Anyways, like to see what you all think. Hope you guys have a great week. Oh, my predictions for who's going to go this week would be Cole, I think. I think the votes are probably going to go for Joe and Cole, and Joe will probably play his idol. That's my predictions. May the force be with you. Eat healthy, which is lots of kale. Drink lots of water. Please avoid the sugar, you guys. You're not young anymore. I'm not young either. I'm just saying diet has really changed my life, and it's something I've been paying attention to for a long time. That's why I talk about it or bring up kale. Even though I stole it from Max Dawson, kale is a superfood. So you really you are what you eat. And God bless. Thank you for your fellowship. May the force be with you. I enjoyed Stranger Things. I wish you guys were podcasting about it. Sigh, we don't always get what we want. Much love. Bye.
Awesome.
It's a good thing we don't exit our podcast that long. Because she had some points I wanted to cover, and then she went into her exit. I started to forget what the points were. But I think once Cole eats half of the merge feast, yes, they will probably be looking to vote him out of the game.
That's probably true. Wow. All right. Thank you, Miriam, a.k.a. Vader Girl. I still will not eat kale, will not try it. I will not. Diet has changed my life, too, just not in the positive way that it has changed yours. Anyway. All right. It is time for Will, the Giant Ninja. He left an audio feedback, so here we go.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. Well, I have read some things about this season of Survivor that I do not agree with. I've seen people suggesting that this season is slow and boring, and I just disagree. I think there is a lot of strategy going on, a lot of interesting decisions, and I'm really enjoying it. In fact, I am enjoying this season as much as any season since what I believe to be the greatest season in Survivor history, Cagayan. And because of that, I thought I would make this feedback a throwback to one of the feedbacks I gave in the Cagayan season. Dwaine, do you remember when you hosted David and I playing a game of the Newlyweds? I think we're going to do that again. I think we are going to play the Newlywed game yet again. And before anyone accuses us of stealing from anybody else, remember, we did this way back in Cagayan. So again, I've got 5 questions for David with a blank in each question. I will ask the questions with the blank, then I will give my answers for the blanks. Between that time, Dwaine will pause the feedback and let David predict what I will say. It's David's job to to predict what I, the Giant Ninja, will insert into the blanks. And if David is right, if he can predict 3 out of my 5 answers, then he is a winner chicken dinner. Are we all on board?
He gives you a
This
chicken
is
dinner.
recorded ahead of time, so it literally doesn't matter what you said. Also, each question allows for a little bit of analysis and strategy talk with why you gave the answer that you did. So, David, I want you to explain why you're answering each blank the way you are, and I'll do the same. Here we go. Number 1. Joe finding another hidden immunity idol the night before the merge was blank. Joe finding another hidden immunity idol the night before the merge was blank.
Okay, so he kind of gave 2 ways for you to give an answer here. The first one was for you to try to figure out what he's going to say, right?
Right.
But then he asked you to explain your answer.
Well, he's explaining what I guess I'm supposed to explain what I think he will say.
Okay.
And being a super fan of Kagayan, I would think that him finding another idol before the merge is very Tony-esque.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
That's a very open-ended blank.
I know. By the way, Gwen says in the chat room, but Dwaine is not good at pausing at opportune times. That is why I broke his feedback up into 10 different files.
Oh, wow.
All right, so what's your answer?
I guess
Tony-esque?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
My answer? That was an editing trick. I do not think he found it the night before the merge. I think he found it pretty much when he showed up at the beach, maybe that night, maybe the next night. They just wanted to tell the story that he found it right before the merge, and they showed us that part of his adventure later than it actually happened.
So what do you think about that?
I don't think so, because he's been looking for it before. His conversation with Desi, which I went back and listened to again just to make sure. I even wrote down notes that he, the way he said it, it was this, it's not there. I've looked in the general vicinity, and she's like, "Oh, how are you measuring it?" She even describes how he measured it, and then he does the same way of laying down. I guess basing his height on the foot distance, foot measurement. So I don't think he found it immediately. I think he found it at least a day or so later.
Mike K wrote in that on our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/Survivor Talk, that if he was originally looking in a 5-foot radius, that he would have totally missed it in the 4-foot radius. That's a lot of digging to do in the 5-foot.
Plus, when he finds the clue, he even says, wow, it's not as far as I thought. It's shorter. It's closer to 12. But like Mike, I would have done it in a 2 to 10 foot radius.
Yeah.
Trying to find this idol, not trusting what they said. It was only 5 feet away. If they even told him how close it was.
I would have borrowed a tripod when they weren't looking. All right, here we go.
Number 2, blank will play a hidden immunity idol at the merge vote. Blank will play a hidden immunity idol at the merge vote.
Well, it's either going to be Mike playing it for somebody else or Joe playing it for himself. I'm going to guess it's Joe, because Joe could be in trouble or Desi could be in trouble.
And why do you think he would say that?
I think because I think I don't think Joe has anybody. Well, Joe's got conflict with Mike. I think that's going to come back from the very beginning, but I think Joe may feel like he's only got Desi.
Yeah, but what do you think Giant Ninja is going to say? Is he smart enough to figure that stuff out?
Is Joe smart enough? Yeah.
No. Is Giant Ninja smart enough to figure out what you just said? What is Giant Ninja going to say? Oh, Giant Ninja's in the chat room, so we better be nice.
I don't think Mike has any reason to play an idol this soon.
I know.
I think Mike's going to be in the right group, so I think Giant Ninja would say Joe as well.
All right. Giant Ninja says, these are tougher than last time, plus David isn't as smart as he used to be. He's throwing shade at you, buddy.
He did not say David is as smart as he used to be.
All right, here it goes.
My answer, nobody. nobody is going to play a hidden immunity idol. The reason is Joe is going to believe that Joe is safe, and he's not going to play for anybody else. And Mike is going to believe that Mike is safe, and he's not going to play it for anybody else.
Yeah, Giant Ninja, you just frustrated David beyond frustration.
You should give multiple guesses.
Yeah, because I knew you were going to hate his answer after I heard yours, because I wasn't expecting that either.
It's stupid.
All right, here we go. He's a lawyer. Come on.
I'm going to have to go buy my own chicken.
All right, here we go.
Number 3, assuming no idols are played, the person voted out after the merge will get blank votes. Assuming no idols are played, the person voted out after the merge will get blank votes.
He's looking for a number.
Okay. I'm going to say, really, I mean, I think there's 7 people that could be together, but I think they're going to have enough people to work with them. So, of course, he didn't say who gets voted out after the merge.
No, he just wants how many votes are going to go against that person. How many people will there be at the merge?
There's 12.
Okay, so 7 to 5 wins. That's a majority. So
I think the person voted out is going to get, let's see. It's going to get 5 votes. No, it's going to get, 5 votes.
And do you think that because they're going to, do you think they're going to split the votes?
Yeah, either 5 or 6.
Okay.
5 to verify, 6 to make sure. I'll say 6.
And so that's what you think. What do you think he thinks?
I don't really care what he thinks anymore.
There you go. I like that. All right, here we go.
Thank you.
Number 3, assuming no idols are played, my answer, 7. I think our 3 duos all stick together. Devin and Ryan, JP and Ashley, Chrissy and Ben, all day one alliances. And I think even though Ryan and Devin don't have Fishmonger, Lydia / Lauren, I think Ben does have Lauren. And I think he brings her in as well. And the 7 of them vote together.
Mm-mm. No, they'll have more than that. They'll have to split the vote to make sure they're worried about Joe having an idol.
Yeah, they ought to be worried about Joe having an idol.
Yep. Anybody that's found 1 can find 2.
That's right.
So his answer's wrong.
Yeah. Giant Ninja, you're wrong.
You know what?
And
It's
I
funny
guess
because
with
I
that,
wrote
I
down
gave
7.
you a little bit of information.
I'm sorry, what?
I wrote down 7 first, and then I changed it.
Ah. Well, that's okay, because 7 was what you thought he would say, and then you got smart and realized that it was something different. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't care about this answers anymore. We're not married.
And I guess with that, I gave you a little bit of information for number 4. 4, the merge boot will be blank. The merge boot will be blank.
A survivor.
I was going to say, one of the 12.
Yeah, one of the 12.
And knowing him, that could be his answer. You know? I don't remember his answer, but, you know.
Someone not in the 7 is probably what he's thinking.
Okay, so what do you want me to say? I mean, so what do you think he's going to say?
I'm going to say he goes so far as to give a name.
All right.
So I'm going to predict a name. And I think Joe could play an idol because if he doesn't feel welcome, he's going to feel worried. But he won't play one for Desi. Or I'll just guess Desi.
All right. Vader Girl says Cole.
Let me see. So there's Jessica Cole could be on the outs. Desi and Joe could be on the outs. Yeah, it could be Desi or Cole. That's true. Cole. I'll say Cole. He's a bigger threat than Desi is. So
Right.
I'll say Cole.
So Vader Girl agrees with you. Patrick is saying Desi. I can't figure out what Gwen is saying.
Lauren's sanity gets voted out.
Yeah, or Lauren or Cole's honesty gets voted out. All right. Oh, Giant Ninja. David should listen to Mir I Am. Here we go.
My answer, Cole.
That's what you said.
I think they're done with Cole. I think they want to get rid of a classic merge boot, a strong male. They're going to boot him with those 7 votes, and they may even get Joe and or Dr. Mike's vote as well.
There you go. So you agree with him on that one. So that was 1 out of 4.
Well, I was thinking Desi, but yeah, thinking more on it, Cole is a better one to get rid of now if he doesn't win immunity.
No, but you eventually said Cole.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to that because that is a better choice, he would say.
All right, here we go.
And number 5, the winner of this season will be blank. The winner of this season will be blank.
You know,
Person with the most votes at the end.
My first thought was a millionaire. Well, actually, they won't be a rich person.
$660,000
Yeah.
person.
All right. So you don't have any idea who's going to win? Obviously, we don't have any idea.
His pick is Ryan, or his favorite is Ryan.
But is it still Ryan? See, that's what we don't know.
Well, mine isn't, but is it right? Is it still Ryan?
All right. Well,
no, it's not Ashley.
oh, so you're reading theirs. Okay, so Gwen says the Rocktopus, whatever in the world that is. Vader Girl says Ryan.
The Rocktopus was what Patrick saw in the water.
Oh. Patrick
Ryan's
says
shorts.
Ashley. Gwen says Ryan. Vader Girl says Dr. Brenner. Okay, now they're just not even giving us serious answers.
He says, not my favorite, my winner pick. So it's not Ryan. So I don't think it would be Joe because I don't think he would say it's not his. I think it's a female.
You think a female's going to win? What about Ben? Don't you think Ben could just end up?
No, because Ben's going to get taken out by the smarter people because they see what kind of a threat he is.
Okay. What about Chrissy?
I just don't think they're going to. Ben's got too good of a story. I don't know. I think hopefully she doesn't make enemies like she did with Allie. I think it could be Jessica. Well, see, now I got to think like he would think, though.
Oh, boy.
Who is his pick to win? Probably not Jessica because he thinks she'll get voted out after Cole. Well, it wouldn't be Joe because I think he would like Joey because he likes Tony. So his pick to win.
People are yelling at their radios right now.
I know.
With all their answers.
Shoot. I'll say Jessica as a wild guess.
All right, here we go.
My answer, $1 million rich. No, I'm just kidding. The winner of this season will be Ben Driebergen.
Oh,
that's my prediction right now. I
want
want it to be my B-Fam or Chrissy, but I think it's going to be Ben. His edit is picking up. He's starting to give us more confessionals. I think he is the odds-on favorite to take home the $1 million prize. And with that, I hope we got our 3 matches, David. I hope you came through for me. Later, peeps. Will at the Giant Ninja.
That was fun, but if you want to hear the first time it happened, episode 159 at about 20 minutes in. That's what Ninja told me. So episode 159, and they are numbered on iTunes. I always put the number at the end. So, by the way, I just saw in the chat room what I thought was, iPhones and then 8s. I was thinking iPhone 8. My iPhone 10 is coming in tomorrow. I'm excited. Mm-hmm. By the way, that's the end of our feedback. Thank you for sticking with us to the very end. I barely did, so I'm really impressed. If you would like to support our show financially, simply go to stwdd.com/support. There's a couple of ways to do that, and you can learn how to do that there. We appreciate all the help we get. Thanks again, everyone. Before I talk about my new iPhone 10 and what kind of ridiculous thing I'm going to have to go through tomorrow to get it, this is ridiculous. David, it's time for David's final word, which we need a bumper for David's final word. I'm going to have to figure one out. So, David, what's your final word?
Fake it so that you make it to the merge.
Fake it so you make it to the merge. What in the world does that mean, David? Fake what?
Fake Allie. Fake getting back into the game, even though she didn't have a chance, but still fake it. Don't come back and be mad.
So, that's it, folks. I'm going to talk about my iPhone 10 thing that's going to happen tomorrow, and then we'll close out our show. Mm-hmm. So this is like shooting the breeze, something we used to do a lot. Actually, we've done quite a bit this season. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have. So just for Gwen's information, our videos were always behind too. It's just the nature of the beast. It's how it works. Okay, so when I pre-ordered my phone, I stayed up. I actually dozed off. I set my alarm for 1:55 a.m. since I'm in the Central Time Zone because they went on sale. Pre-orders began at 2 a.m. my time. So I went to sleep like about 1. I was trying to stay up. Mm-hmm. And I set my alarm for 1:55. Well, I thought, I'll go ahead and hit the link that takes me there. Boom, 1:57. I'm already pre-ordering my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I got it. I got it. I'm one of the few people that gets it on the 3rd, which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
The problem is because I did it through Verizon, through our website, through our business account, because my phone is, through my work. Mm-hmm. We all share the same account. We get our own phones, but we're all through the same account. Anyway, they didn't give me a choice of where they were going to deliver it. So they're delivering it to my office tomorrow, but we're not open tomorrow.
Oh.
And it requires a signature. So I call FedEx. Because usually when you can't get a package or whatever, you just say, hey, I want to hold it at the location. Well, guess what? Apple won't let this be held at the location. They have to at least try once. Second, I said, well, let me change the address. Apple won't let us change the address. So, tomorrow, I get to get my computer and my iPad and go sit in front of my office and wait for the FedEx truck while I watch stuff on
Stranger Things.
I only have one more episode of that, I think. Unless there's 9, I have 2 more episodes.
What do you think of it so far? Or are you finished with the iPhone story?
Yeah. Stranger Things 2. Spoiler alert, we are going to start talking about it. So if you don't want to hear about it, see you later. Bye. It's a lot more intense than last season was.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you that. I wasn't a big fan of the alternate story in Chicago.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of that. And I'm not past that. That's the last episode I've watched. I love Mad Max. I think of course, she's a redhead. I think all redheads are cool. But I just love Mad Max. I hate her brother. Hate's a strong word, but I don't like her brother. I think it's interesting that Lucas and why am I forgetting it? Oh, Lucas and what's his name?
Dustin.
Yeah, that Lucas and Dustin are kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like they've separated the boys, just a little bit.
Yeah.
They've kind of separated them. It's interesting that Lucas is kind of getting the girl, especially with it being set in the 80s. Mm-hmm. It's that's an interesting take. But yeah, I'm liking it a lot. I am. I'm going to definitely watch it again, like very, very, very soon. So what do you think? Have you watched it once or twice?
Just once.
Just once?
It was good. It wasn't to me, it won't eclipse the first season because of how original and unique the first season was. But Will, the actor playing Will, to me is incredible throughout this whole season. He is so good.
Yes.
And he's going to get better for you since you haven't finished it yet.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't like was Dart, the little amoeba thing. I didn't like that because it felt like gremlins or something. It just felt like catching a little. He would never keep that thing.
I don't think Dusty would have.
Yeah, I didn't feel like that would have. If that to me felt like, oh, you were doing so well. Why did you have to say something like that? Or why did you have to have that crazy idea? To me, I understood it. It's okay. But that was really the only thing. The rest of it was like jumping to episode 6 of season 1 and going. It just feels like we were nonstop in this whole thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But I will say, when you finish watching it, keep going, because there's some Beyond Stranger Things mini segments where a guy interviews several actors from the show in different episodes. Like they're 23 minutes long, and there's like 6 or 8 of them, and he interviews all the different actors in a round table.
Cool.
The kids, the producers, the brothers, the Duffer Brothers, and different actors, and almost everybody that's in there gets to be interviewed.
Yeah.
So it's really neat because it talks to the brother, Mad Max's brother, and it talks to, of course, Max. But I did like her character. I liked how tough she was and how she didn't really take anything off of him.
Right.
I thought that was good. I liked it. But the funny thing was for me, and I shared this on my Facebook page, Davis and I were going to watch it together. Bailey and Gracie are watching it on their own because they're at school. And Terry said, well, if you guys are going to watch it, I'm just going to read my book in here so I can sit in here with you guys while you watch it. So the first episode we're watching, and she's like, I don't know how you guys can watch this without having nightmares. This is crazy. The second episode, she's watching it. She starts throwing a couple questions at us about certain characters.
Yeah.
By the third episode, she's asking more questions, and she's putting down the book more. By the fourth episode, the book's not even up anymore. She's watching the fourth episode with us. So, and the questions are more and more involved and about the lab and about this, that, and the other. So we went back to season 1, episode 8.
Yeah.
And did a skip around review of episode 8 to let her see what happened.
Now, they had like a recap. Like the first time I started to watch episode 1, it started with a recap. But then the next time I went to it, it didn't show the recap.
Oh, I don't remember a recap
of season 1.
Yeah. So anyway, we get to episode 5. She watches, and I can't remember, but we were watching 2 or 3 at a time. Davis said, how about if we watch the last episode Halloween night, and then on Monday night we'll watch episode 8 because it was 9 instead of 8 episodes this time. I said, okay. So Sunday night we're getting ready for bed. He comes in there and says, how about since you're getting home late, because I had a soccer meeting on Monday, and he goes, how about since you're getting home later, we just download 8 on our phones and watch it on our own. And then we'll watch Tuesday night, watch the finale together. Well, Terry happened to be in the room. She goes, no, you two are not watching that without me. And I'm not watching it by myself.
Yeah.
So we Monday night, we watched 8. And then I said, I can't wait for tomorrow to watch the finale.
Yeah.
Terry said, well, I guess we're watching it then. Davis is like, yeah. So we watched the 8 and 9 together on Monday night.
So do I have 2 more? The whole Chicago thing was episode 7?
That was not near the end. Yeah, you've got at least 2 more.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 9 instead of 8 episodes.
Yeah.
It was really good. Really, really good.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, the original is just going to be this. It's so good.
Yeah. So 2 things. I love what Giant Ninja just wrote about Psych, because Gwen's going to do the whole "Why aren't you watching Psych" thing. First episode I watched, the cop shouted, "We found Prince," and Sean responded, "Was he in a little red Corvette?" That's the kind of humor that's all throughout the show, Psych. But my oldest son, Nathan, is 24 years old, and he's doing his senior recital next month. Isn't that cool?
Is that like a concert?
Dude, it is. Yeah, it's a concert. He has to prepare all this music. He has to do all kinds of research on the music. And you don't graduate unless you do a senior recital when you're a vocal major.
So he's a vocal major.
Yeah.
And how long is it?
Oh, it'll probably be 45 minutes or so.
Wow. That's a lot.
Well, not when it's your son and he sounds like my son does.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
I mean, that's a lot of work on him.
Oh, yeah.
45 minutes worth.
Bye, everybody. It's been fun.
See ya.
Survivor Talk with D&D is a production of D&D Podcasting and is hosted by David Jones and Dwaine Stroud, the 2 Ds in D&D. We're 2 best friends who decided way back in December of 2011 that we wanted to share our love of Survivor with all who would listen. Follow me on Twitter at Survivor_Talk. Join our Facebook group at stwdd.com/Facebook. A special thanks goes out to Adam Klein, the winner of Survivor Millennials vs. Generation X, for providing both his voice and time for our show introduction. The amazing music you heard is Never Again by Breaking Benjamin. Thank you to Mark Percy, who creates all of our graphics and puts up with my OCD for each new graphic he creates. Thank you to Patrick Monroe, who spent countless hours designing our website and continues to provide support at all hours of the night. Visit our website at stwdd.com for quick and easy access to our most recent shows, as well as all of the others. Discover our 2 other podcasts, Rewind Fast Forward with D&D and Movie Talk with D&D. Check out our D&D store for shirts, hoodies, and even coffee mugs, or just look around and click on things. We couldn't create and produce our podcast without the financial support of our D&D patrons, as well as those who use our Amazon links. So thank you for going above and beyond and sharing in the fun of D&D. Become a D&D patron at stwdd.com/patron and enjoy immediate access to all of our shows prior to their release date. On a personal note, thank you to David for your friendship and for not telling me I was crazy about this whole podcasting thing. To God be all the glory. Thanks for listening.